only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Superman got nothing on me. I'm only one call away. Call me baby if you need a friend. I just wanna give you love. Come on, come on, come on. Reaching out to you, so call me baby if you need a friend. You go, I just wanna give you love. One call away. Reaching out to you, I'll be there to save the day. You go, Superman got nothing. Give you love. One call away. Reaching out to you, I'll be there to save the day. You go, Superman got nothing. Give you love. One call away.
It's now the next challenge.
If England win today, Gareth Southgate will move ahead of Sir Alf Ramsey in terms of the amount of matches won at major tournaments. Well, Rio, it was called the impossible job when Gareth Southgate took over, wasn't it? Has he dispelled that theory, or does he need to win a tournament to do that?
Well, he's took England to heights that we would have thought was unimaginable before he came. I think he's made it a place where there's harmony, where players want to turn up now. You think back to our generation and even before, there were players that would pull out and you know that they don't really want to be there. It's not a real injury. Now these guys, they're clamoring to get there. They're looking for the email or for the notification to come up that, oh, you're going to be on the coach to get to the next squad. Yeah. That's such a difference. And this team have been close to winning tournaments. And that's what you want. No matter how you play football, as a player, I think about it, not every single trophy that I won was done playing the beautiful game and playing spectacular football. No one remembers that. You want the trophy in your hand. However you get that done, you get it done.
Just about winning, it always has been. And most criticism, I suppose, is because of a possible conservative style of play. Do you share those thoughts?
Yeah, yes, at times. But we also mustn't forget, look where England were before Gareth got the job. He took us to a semi-final in the World Cup. Forget about, oh, we got the right side of the draw, or Harry Kane was lucky scoring these goals. Forget about that nonsense. He did it. He got us to a semi-final. He got us to a final. Things have improved massively. Look where we were to where we are now. I know we haven't won for 6 games. There are excuses for that, I think. Yeah. Good ones that this team can use. He knows that you're judged in major tournaments. Gareth knows he now has to do the next step, and the next step is going on to win a tournament. It's very, very difficult. Look what they're up against. And at times, yes, I get the argument that we need to open up a bit more and play a bit more on the front foot. Hopefully, by his selection today, with 4 at the back and the players that he selected in midfield and going forward, that might just be the start of it.
I just think sometimes with Southgate, I agree with everything that you've said. Like, we have to win, of course we have to win. But it's making them substitutes early. That is the one criticism I have of Southgate. All what he's done has been excellent up to this point. But when you're 1-0 down or 2-0 down, make them substitute to make the difference in the game. And that's the only thing I would question about Southgate.
Yeah. Or when you go a goal up. Yeah. When you go a goal up and like in the final, you think to yourself, right, what do we do then? What do we do now?
And the Euro and the World Cup semi-finals 4 years ago. Has that been the thing? Get a goal ahead and then be a little bit too cool.
Yeah, but that's not just that's just not the manager. That's the players as well. How many times have you been leading and you just
I think the natural reaction, sometimes you do come up.
Hold on to what you've got.
But
Exactly.
and from a defender's point of view, which I understand, Gareth, that is a defender's instinct to protect what you have.
Yeah.
But that's when you need your players, your midfielders and your attacking players to go, no. Give us the ball. And
Have England got those players to do that, to grasp the situation themselves? Now, they're a bit more experienced than perhaps they've been previously.
I think you'd like to think so, but I think we've seen them players produce those moments at club level.
Yeah.
But now you want to do it in the England shirt with a free line.
That's what I say. Is there a difference between doing that for your club and doing that for the country?
You're on the big stage. You're playing against the best players in the world, so obviously it's different. But I keep going back to my point. The England squad and team have made huge strides. Now they've got to do another huge stride to take us where Gareth wants to do it, and then that's what he'll be judged on. He knows that tournaments are the ones that everyone looks at. I mean, forget what happened in the Nations League. Yes, you're an England shirt, you want to win games, but no one's really interested in that. They're interested in the European Championships and the big one, which is the World Cup.
Yeah. It's time to let Gareth do the talking. He's with Kelly Summers.
Gareth, just over a week ago, you were nervously watching your players in their last round of Premier League games. How much work have you been able to do with them since then?
Well, we've maximised the time, really. We've spent the first part of the week exciting people about being involved in the World Cup. And then the latter part since we got here on the training pitch, which I'm really pleased with the way the players have approached everything.
Looking at your team, how much has your formation and your selections been affected by the way that Iran are likely to play?
Well, a little bit, because you're always looking at the opponent. They could change, so you've always got to be aware of that. But we feel this is a strong
for your squad.
Yeah, well, a lot of discussion's been going on without me involved because I've been focused on the game. We're wearing the FIFA armband. That was decided by collective federations overnight, I believe. We are in the middle of that. We're just really trying to focus on the game, frankly.
Thanks, Gareth.
Okay.
Thousands of England fans are expected here for the game. What's the experience been like so far for those who have made the trip?
Important part of my life. Some people voice like disapproval, obviously, with everything going on right now. But honestly, England could be playing on the moon and still be booking flights and accommodations.
So us England fans, we've arrived in Qatar. We've got the Lusail Stadium, where the World Cup final will be. Incredible place.
I think you know what kind of country you're coming to. The restrictions on alcohol. I've been here for a few days now and it feels pretty normal. I haven't seen anything that's made me go, wow, that's a real culture shock.
Nice to see the locals getting in the spirit. The World Cup is here.
Being in Qatar has been really, really interesting. The people are really accommodating. I think they like being hosts, they like having guests.
So far, it's, so good. We've been able to enjoy ourselves.
Plenty of Brazil fans and Argentina fans.
I just feel like we're being watched. Everywhere I go, I have to show my hire cards. It's quite military. A lot of the places where you're walking, in and out of buildings and train stations, are all kind of fenced in.
Worth the wait?
Yeah. I think drink is a big issue here. As a football fan, that's your go-to place, the bars.
We haven't had a drink for 2 days, but who cares? If you have to have a drink to enjoy yourself, this place is the time to go.
England tomorrow.
Do you know what? It's going to be a tough game. If you want to make a prediction, I'd say 0-0.
4-0 England win. 3-0 England.
It's coming home. England going to win the World Cup. I'm not going home without the World Cup.
We always check out the scenes back at home and with the fan parks, and let's say it's generally a little bit different in summer. This is Manchester. I'm sure it'll liven up a bit once.
They need big meeks there, don't they?
They need something. Come on. It's a World Cup. Let's get excited. The Khalifa International Stadium, also known as the National Stadium, has a capacity of 40,000. Tragically, a British national, Zach Cox, died in a fall whilst working here in 2017. He is one of the 3 official deaths registered by the Qatari authorities in connection with World Cup construction projects. Originally built in 1976, it's been upgraded since. It's the only stadium that existed before Qatar won the right to host the World Cup. It's hot today, around 30 degrees. Alex Scott is pitchside with Kelly Summers and can give us a sense, perhaps, of the conditions.
Yes, Gary, it is said to be hot today, but it doesn't actually feel as hot as we were expecting. We are also in the shade. And Alex, I imagine when the players walked around the pitch, they'll have been quite relieved.
Oh, it is glorious down here. This was not like this on my 5K run that I had to cut short to 3K this morning because I was struggling. But no, we can't complain about the conditions here at all.
Yes.
It's a nice weather for a nice game of football today, Kel.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a little bit of a breeze down here as well. As for on the pitch, looking at Gareth Southgate's team selection, so much was said about what he was going to do defensively. It is a back 4. How pleased are you?
Yeah, I think Alan already mentioned it. Like, you can see he's gone with the experience. What I'd like, because there has been a lot of talk around Harry Maguire right now, that he doesn't need to have a worldie game. Just be solid defensively. Get the ball, make the tackles, make the pass. You don't really need to do anything more than that. Just be solid as a back 4.
OK, and in attack, where can England hurt this Iran side?
Definitely down the full-backs, in particular the left-hand side. So I would like to overload that, keep peppering that side, because from what I've seen of the clips, that's the direction that they need to go today.
And all we want is a positive performance, as Gareth Southgate said.
Come on, England.
Come on, England. Yes, lots of optimism down here. As you can see, Alex Scott is wearing the One Love armband. As Gareth Southgate confirmed to me, the England players will not be wearing that. Instead, they will be wearing the FIFA armband instead. The atmosphere, Gary, fortunately, is building a little bit down here. We've got some England fans, but I think they need a bit of Big Meeks in here to liven it up a bit as well.
We've got half an hour to go yet. Iran's preparations have been overshadowed by civil unrest at home. For the past 2 months, protesters have been defying a crackdown by security forces after the death in custody of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who was arrested for violating Iran's rules around women wearing a hijab. Captain Ehsan Haj Safi addressed the issue yesterday.
اول از هر چیز تسلیت عرض میکنم خدمت همه خانواده داغدار ایران و اینو بدونن که ما کنارشون هستیم و باهاشون همدردیم. باید قبول کنیم که واقعا شرایط کشورمون خوب نیست و مردممون شاد نیستن، همه ناراحتن و ما اینجاییم. دلیل برای این نیست که صدایشون نباشیم و یا بهشون احترام نذاریم. ما هر چی داریم از مردممون هست و ما اینجا هستیم که سخت تلاش کنیم، بجنگیم، بهترین عملکردمون رو توی زمین بذاریم و گل بزنیم و گلمون رو تقدیم به مردم داغدار ایران کنیم و امیدوارم که شرایط اونطور که مردممون میخوان رقم بخوره و همه شاد بشن.
Brave and powerful words and an unsettling backdrop against which to prepare for a World Cup.
ببین جام جهانی جایگاهیه که هر اتفاقی ممکنه بیفته.
Iranian football has a lot of potential.
خب تیم ملی ایران فکر می‌کنم آرزوی هر بازیکنی هستش که توی تیم ملی کشورش بازی بکنه. خب منم یکی از اون فوتبالیستایی بودم که
فوتبال تو ایران بسیار محبوب همچنان.
خب فکر می‌کنم یکی از دلخوشی‌های مردم ما توی این روزا تیم ملی فوتبال آقایونمون هستش. واقعا خب با توجه به نتایجی که به دست آورد جام جهانی که رفت. Here is Iran. Football is for all.
The team is almost from players who played 4 years ago in Russia. I think Iran has easier group compared to 4 years ago.
خب به نظر من امسال تیم بهتری داریم نسبت به 2018 با توجه به اینکه مهدی طارمی مخصوصا تو خط حمله خیلی بهتر از قبل شده و الان فکر کنم جزء 4-5 تا گلزن برتر لیگ قهرمانانه.
شاید نتیجه برعکس رقم بخوره. هرچی تیم‌ها قوی‌تر جلوی ما ایرانی‌ها بازی می‌کنن انگار که باید بریم و از اون ایرانی بودنمون در واقع طرفداری بکنیم.
دفاعمون اکثرا توی لیگ قطر بازی میکنن، دارن تلاش خودشون رو میکنن، بازیکن‌های خیلی خوبی هم هستن، ولی اینکه نداشتن فورواردهای تراز اول توی لیگ قطر بتونن توی به دفاعی که حالا توی قطر دارن بازی میکنن فشار بیارن، فکر میکنم این یکم شرایط مطلوبی برای تیم ملی ایران توی این بحران زمانی که سرمربی تیم ملی ایران این بازیکن در اختیار داره، فکر میکنم شاید یکم دچار مشکل بشه.
Federation decided to choose Mr. Queiroz again. He will coach Iran for the third time in World Cup.
حالا کاریزما خیلی قوی داره، استراتژیک فوتبال بازی کردن خودش رو داره و بازیکنان فکر میکنم از اون حرف شنوی دارن میتونن حالا تو فاز حمله و دفاع به اون سبکی که کارلوس کیروش توی دیدگاه و افکار خودش هست بتونن توی جام جهانی بازی بکنن.
من خودم خیلی به این تیم ایمان دارم. شاید احساس میکنم یه جورایی با این اتفاقهایی که این روزها توی جامعه ما افتاده فکر میکنم شاید یه نتایج خیلی خاصی رو اون بالایی خدا برای شاد کردن دل ماها رقم بزنه، چون بچه‌ها واقعا تواناییش رو دارن. ما فوتبالیستایی داریم که دیگه همه در سطح اول جهان دارن بازی میکنن. انشالله که این همدلیه، اون یک ملت یک ضربان 80 میلیون یک ضربانه پشت تیم ما باشه، قلب‌های ما برای تیم ملی میتپه و ما بتونیم یک در واقع ما که میگم منظور تیم ملی آقایونه بتونه یک افتخار آفرینی خیلی بزرگی رو داشته باشه.
England is the best team of Group B.
خب انگلستان یک تیم پرسابقه، یک تیم قهرمان اروپا شده. فکر می‌کنم یه دورم قهرمان جام جهانی هستش. بالاخره تیمی نیست که دارای قوی‌ترین لیگ، یکی از قوی‌ترین لیگ‌های اروپا رو داره. کار رو برای بچه‌های ما سخت می‌کنه.
انگلیس یکی از بهترین نسل‌هاشو داره. یعنی یکی از بهترین نسل‌های بازیکناشو داره. ولی خب فکر می‌کنم که خیلی از هوادارا با من موافق باشن که گرت ساوتگیت مربی بزرگی برای نیمکت تیم ملی انگلیس نیسته.
England has some problems in their back line and it can help Taremi or Osman who are in top 4.
I think Iran can win but it's 50-50.
پیش بینی من بازی ایران انگلیس احتمالاً 0-0
و اینکه فکر می‌کنم در بهترین حالتش با تیم ملی ایران مساوی کنه، در بدترین حالتش هم یکی دو تا ازش می‌تونه.
پیش بینی کردن که فکر می‌کنم یه چیز اشتباهی باشه در مورد فوتبال، چون
اگرچه که با توجه به شناختی که کیروش از انگلیس و لیگ انگلیس و بازی‌های انگلیس داره، من تصور می‌کنم که این افت اخیر تیم ملی انگلیس و ضعفی که نشون داده در مسابقات اروپایی شاید این زمینه رو ایجاد کرده که ما با انگلیس بازی حتی ممکنه که راحت‌تری داشته باشیم. من شخصا فکر می‌کنم که بازی با ولز و امریکا ممکنه برای ما سخت‌تر از بازی با انگلیس باشه.
ولی من همیشه گفتم شاید کلیشه‌ای باشه، شاید خیلی‌ها بگن الان جواب نمیده، ولی اون ایرانی بودن، اون غیرت ایرانی بودن به نظر من خیلی وقتا میچربه به تاکتیک‌های تیمی، به یک سری از اتفاقایی که توی تیم‌های دیگه حکم فرماست. من فکر می‌کنم که ما بتونیم یه مساوی آقای کیروش از انگلستان برای ما بگیره.
Goalkeeper Bayran Vand played in all 3 games in 2018 and saved a penalty from Cristiano Ronaldo, no less. Iran's well-drilled defence let in just 4 goals in final qualifying. Mo Harami faced Chelsea twice in the Champions League this season. Captain Haj Safi and former Brighton winger Yahan Bahash equal the Iranian record of playing at 3 World Cups. Dangerman Taremi has already scored 5 times in this season's Champions League. Sardar Azmoun, who has 41 international goals, he's not fit enough to start after a calf injury. Carlos Queiroz is back again as coach. He took Iran to the last 2 World Cups, but only got the job this time 3 months ago. It's an opportunity he probably wasn't expecting after missing out in qualifying with both Colombia and Egypt. You know him well, Rio, of course, from your Manchester United days when he was Sir Alex Ferguson's number 2. Good coach?
Yeah, top level coach. All the details he cared about. I mean, as a young player who hadn't really won much in my young career, he came in and really was identifying the details in your individual game, but also as a collective, as a team.
It's important for you?
Really important.
Yeah.
Just little things, even in training, he'd come and pull you sometimes and say, Rio, I haven't seen you sprint in the last couple of sessions. You can't just switch that on in a game. Your body's not, it won't function right.
Yeah.
And just little things like that was great, but tactically, more than anything, he was so astute. And for everything in terms of how good Sir Alex Ferguson was and being a maverick, and he'd be very much trying different things on the front foot all the time. He's a pragmatic coach.
Yeah. Did he ever get you to sprint?
Yeah, when I needed to. Chase this man or someone like that up front.
What was the dynamic like between him and Sir Alex? Different, obviously, being a number 2.
He was. I was saying there, the manager was really on the front foot, wanted to attack games and dominate teams because he believed we were the best and had the best players. But he always had an air of caution about him, and he was that caution on the shoulder of the manager to kind of. He made us play more 5 in midfield at times when we were going away to teams in Europe, especially in some of the big games, even in the Premier League. It wasn't always us attacking teams. Be a bit cautious, but also. On the transition, he was huge about that.
A lot of shape stuff,
yeah.
moving from left to right and knowing when to drop, when to...
Exactly, and it is defensively great like that. He drilled us loads, rep after rep. But then once we won the ball, the transition to then attack teams and the way players moved in
I think we have conversations about these people before, and I think you give him a lot of credit for the way Manchester United defended the years after he left it. Coach of Iran, if you don't have dogs, you go with cats.
Wow.
Have they got any big cats?